So we're going to talk about the nocebo effect, which is similar in essence to the placebo effect, but just works a little bit in the reverse way. So the placebo is a harmless pill, medicine, or procedure prescribed more for the physiological benefit to the patient than for any physiological effect. And we know that placebos are often quite effective, especially when they are given to us by somebody that we care for, like a care provider that we trust. And the act of taking something that we believe to be good for us can be beneficial to the body, even if it has no medicinal properties, but we believe it to be healing for us. And the nocebo effect is something that we see a lot in birth and in labor and through pregnancy. We are continuously monitored. We're doing so many ultrasounds, so many blood tests, so many urine tests, and this act kind of affirms for women that they need assistance, that their body is not doing what it should be doing without outside assistance. It's not empowering. It doesn't fuel us up and make us believe that our body is working accordingly. So with having these tests given to us so much, we feel like we need help, that our pregnancy is not going to be thriving if we're not getting these tests and procedures done, regularly checked and regularly monitored. And while this is happening through our pregnancy, we are not feeling empowered and we're not feeling capable. Even if we don't recognize this happening on the surface, this is what's happening underneath. And then it shows up a lot in labor, because through your whole pregnancy, you had to be monitored and you had to be tested to make sure everything was going along well, that you couldn't see on the surface. Even if you felt fine, we're still testing for so many things to make sure that everything really is fine. And this kind of like creates the belief in ourselves that we're not capable of carrying a pregnancy without outside help and support. And then birth comes, and our whole pregnancy, we've kind of been being knocked down in feeling not capable. And then it really shows up when you are in birth and labor and you haven't felt like built up and supported and empowered through your pregnancy. Then labor comes and you feel like you need help. You can't manage this appropriately. Like you need all these hands that have been helping you all through your pregnancy to make sure everything is fine and safe. And then labor starts and you feel small and incapable and like you need interventions. And we know in birth, one intervention leads to many. So this is the effect that the nocebo effect is like having, and how it shows up in labor and in birth and in pregnancy specifically. If we spent more time nurturing our pregnant moms and admiring them for how smoothly and how well their pregnancy is going, then we would see more positive outcomes in birth. And as well, if maybe we laid off a little bit, like we don't need to do all these tests continuously. The amount of times that somebody actually gets negative results from these tests is so minuscule, but the medical system has just decided to make it regular activity to be testing for these very small instances that something could be going wrong, so that we're actually just pouring this belief into the regular, like healthy pregnant person that it might not be okay and that we need their assistance to check in on everything, when like sometimes unique situations exist and the tests are helpful, but the majority of times we're just doing these procedures on healthy women who don't need assistance, and we're just creating this belief in a low subconscious level that they're not doing okay and they need to be monitored. And it would be valuable if we spent more time nurturing our pregnant moms and boosting up their ability and their story and their belief in themselves and their body's natural ability to host a healthy pregnancy and grow a beautiful baby and to birth that baby without hands being a part of the mix. Like, this is her time to shine, and most often the woman's going to do it pretty amazingly without anybody else's help or fear being poured into her.